Hello again, everybody. This is Bobby Mills for theindependent.com with another episode of Endzone Online. Today we're in God's country at GICC, GI Central Catholic, my old stomping ground, with Coach Tim Dvorak. How are you, Coach?
Go. Absolutely fantastic.
Oh, man, that is great. Yeah. 5 years, 5th year?
This is coming in year 5 for me.
Okay, that's good, man.
Time flies when you have fun.
It is, yeah. And coming off a good year last year, in my book it was anyway.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
how you feel about it, but anytime you qualify for the playoffs, it's a great year.
Absolutely. I was happy to play a full schedule last year.
Oh.
To make that playoff game. So, we marked that down as a success.
That's exactly right, because I'm going through my stuff last night. There were some people who had a lot of empty spots on that schedule. So I don't know what this year games brings, but you play them one game at a time and go from there, man.
Absolutely.
That's what you have to do. So, first question always, how did the summer go? How's the weight room attendance and all that good stuff?
I thought we had a fairly productive summer. Weight room attendance could have been a little bit better. We struggle with a little bit of numbers in our high school right now.
Yeah.
But the guys we have are quality. That's what I will say. We have quality guys. Would I like to have a few more bodies? Yes, but those bodies are coming up. They're coming up.
Good.
But we have a whole bunch of quality guys who are dedicated up here in the weight room, out on the field to getting better, and I'm hoping that shows up here this fall.
Good. What are your numbers? Are you over 30 or not?
We are over 30. We're officially at 33 right now.
That's not bad.
But we're also looking at 30 kids in our 7th and 8th grade that are playing football. So that's exciting to see. This program building from start to finish.
That is good, because I know some Class C1 schools that are going to be happy with mid 30s and lower in the mid 20s for that lower 7th and 8th grade. Oh, that's great news.
Absolutely,
man. So, did you do any summer camps? I noticed out in back here some kids, but I didn't know whether you believed in doing those things, traveling anywhere.
This was a little bit of an odd summer. Normally, yes, we do our camps here. I like to do a youth camp, which we were able to get through with 2nd through all the way up to 8th graders. We obviously have our junior high camp with our 7th and 8th grade team. We were able to get in, and our team camp we usually do towards the end of July.
Yeah.
We've done some things. We've gone to those epic team camps.
Yeah.
Up in St. Paul before. We've done kind of co-op team camps with Charlie Shoemaker down in at Hastings High. But this was just kind of an odd one, because I was expecting, and my wife and I had a kid here at the end of June, so we were into July. So we knew that was coming up and had to shuffle the schedule, but the kids were resilient. They made the changes, and I think we still got a lot out of it. I
think so. Some people don't believe in going a lot of places. Just do our own thing. And did you go to the Northwest camp this year?
Nope, we did not. Like I said, that Northwest camp, we went to it in its early years, and it was a great camp. We just couldn't with the number of bodies we have in our team. It's hard to get guys over the summer with baseball and basketball camps, and you don't want to overwhelm them. That's one thing I don't like to do. I don't want to burn the kids out over the summer.
It can happen.
So it can happen, and luckily here we have good communication amongst the coaching staff to keep a good balance.
Good.
So that's something that we need to continue, but I think it helps the kids out over the summer.
Sure. Coaching staff, I thought I saw some new faces. I might be mistaken, but tell me about it.
We did. We got a couple of new faces on the staff. Obviously, we have those guys who have been around, and Tom Moore, Keith Kester, and a number of them who've been helping for years and are invaluable. But new faces, we added Spencer Dorn. It's kind of a semi-new face. He coached with us a few years ago.
He did.
And then he kind of made the rounds, but he's back. And then teaching at the school, we got another former Crusader in Brady Brokoff.
Just man, it's so exciting to see him.
He's jumping up. Love the energy he brings, and the knowledge coming from Omaha Groves, and to have former Crusader back on staff, back in the school, it's always nice.
He was a tough player, man. Well, I don't know whether he was in your era. Probably after.
He was younger. He was younger than me, so he was down a little ways.
Yes, but he was a competitor for that small package. I'm telling you, on the court and on the field. So, who are the new guys? Who coaches the offensive line? Not the offensive, but the defensive line. Does Coach Moore do that
That's going to be Coach Schroeder.
Okay.
That's Coach Schroeder.
Toad, the man.
Toad, the man, yes. He does a great job with them.
They've got to love him, don't they?
Oh,
the kids.
you can't not. He's a kid. He's a guy that kids just gravitate to.
I know it.
They gravitate to him. So it's nice to have, again, him being out there. He's not only a great coach, he's a great just mentor with those kids.
I think so. He can bridge a gap too. Not that you're old, but I mean, he's just he connects with the kids. But I bet they listen to him when he
oh, absolutely.
Calls to their kids. Tell me about your offense this year. You lost some good kids to graduation, needless to say. You know, just the personnel-wise, you don't have to tell me what you're running off.
You know, there are holes to fill. Obviously, last year's graduating class had just a wealth of experience. Some of them were starting as freshmen, you know, on offense and defense. But like I said, we've got holes to fill, but we've got quality behind it. We've got returning starters at wide receiver in Isaac Herbeck and Marcus Lowry, a couple of guys I would feel comfortable going up against any corner we'll see in C2.
That's exactly right.
Grayson Johnson's coming back with experience. Gage Steinke in the backfield. Joey Korleski is our lone returning starter on the offensive line, but I like who we've got coming up with him. Peyton Gangwish, Jeremiah Aarons, I keep calling him Doug, Creighton Merring.
Yeah, I know.
Creighton Merring. You know, they've been working hard this offseason to fill in as that spot. And we've got some younger talent and, you know, Connor Johnson, Barrett Overmiller, Sam Mueller, three kids who, as freshmen, had to step in when we had our COVID quarantine. They stepped up for 2 games played, started to the end of the year, and that I think that experience really helped them. And you know, the work they put in on the off season, from having played that varsity and seeing where they need to get to, I like where they're going.
And that is valuable experience when they can see, okay, I need to do this. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't see it, man. You know. And
then backfield, you also got Ben Alberts, just a workhorse back there, and a couple of young kids and sophomores in Jack Stenson and Zenon Sack who could see some reps at a few different positions, kind of utility guys.
Sure.
But they're guys we'll trust. They're quality kids who work hard, who are going to know what they can do, and they're athletes to boot.
Good. Well, what about your defense? You obviously have to have a guy. You don't have anybody strictly playing defense, do you?
Nope. We're Iron Man the whole way.
Yeah.
You know, as you know, I don't know a team south of A, maybe a few B schools who can't play Iron Man. So, defense is going to be, that's where we really have to plug those holes.
Yeah.
We're losing a lot on all 3 levels, D-line, linebacker, and secondary. But again, we got quality coming back. We got guys who are willing to work hard and learn. They're young, they're inexperienced, but they're going to get that experience quick. And you know, the growth we're going to see in this early part of the season, I think it's going to make for a tough team and a good unit, not just this year, but going forward.
Sure. You know, I was thinking of that backfield. If you got Brayton Johnson and Steinke, that's pretty speedy bunch, man.
We got speed, that's for sure.
You're not. That's all they'll see is their back end. If they get loose, man, that's pretty good stuff. And will they be DBs on defense or not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, there's not too many that are going to get deep on them.
So.
No. So, boy, talk about that schedule. It's the same as last year, but man, you didn't make anybody at the NSAA upset, did you? My, especially to open the season. Good look, and those were road games mostly last year.
Last year we had 4 of the first 5 on the road. It will be nice to be at home for a while. You know, it's nice, especially last year. It actually worked out. Last year we had such an experienced group that we could handle those road games. This year with a bunch of new bodies, it's going to be nice to kick off the rust and break them in on our home turf rather than have to deal with the schedule changes that the road brings for you. But in the end, wherever you play, it's 11 men in a pigskin. You can play.
That's exactly right. Doesn't matter if it's a Sanford patch or not. But how many games were on this field this year? I've heard any. I know now, but my daughter had to tell me. But it's been a big mystery.
And it was kind of, it's kind of been up there. There's been a lot of discussion.
Yep.
We love the atmosphere that we bring out here,
Ooh,
but you also can't beat the facilities that you have over at GI Senior High, and they've been more than gracious with us to allow us to continue playing there. So we're going to end up being 3 over at Senior High, and then we'll play 2 games out here on the Seder Sod week 4 versus North Platte St. Pat's. You know, you got to get the rivalry right there.
Oh, you
love
bet.
that game
From years back.
And then week 8 for our homecoming versus Twin Rivers, we'll be out here.
Okay, see, I thought Bergen was here, but that's over at the stadium.
Yep.
Yeah. St. Pat's, that's going to be a good one. Yeah.
It'll be a good one. Yep.
They don't have many kids, but they're all tough. And they could have dropped down to 8-man years ago, but you take too much pride. So anyway, and your first home game is at Sutton here?
It is Sutton over at Senior High, yep.
And that was part of the old road trip last year. Oh boy, that's a tough question. I should have put that there. Have they ever considered lighting here? That's only part of it, though.
That's only part of it. You know, lighting is great. We also need seating.
I know.
You need, expansion in the press box. So I mean, there would be a lot of work to be done to play here consistently. But you love the atmosphere. We make it work. The old drive up, shine your lights on, and let's go games.
It's
love
more
the
than
atmosphere, but it's just more than that to make this consistent. And it's a chunk of change that we're going to need. But like I said, we can get 1 or 2 here every year.
Yeah.
But you can't beat the facilities
just
up the road. You can't beat them. And I'm excited to get the camera angle from that press box. We'll get good film there. So.
Yeah, McKenna and I were up there, and they've got so much room that you could invite 20 of your good friends up there. I never saw such a space. I was knocked out, but yeah, I mean, it's not a contract deal. Well, they could just tell them that's not it. I mean, it makes more sense.
So we have a good working relationship with GI Public Schools, and Cindy over there has been gracious with us. Like working with her, so it's one of those situations where we make the best of what we have, and we have options if necessary.
Yeah.
We know that Northwest, we've played there in the past, so we you just adapt. You adapt.
It's kind of nice to not have to work around their schedule out there.
Yes.
Northwest at time when you can play here, so I really like that. Finally, how much have things changed since you were here? I mean, the game itself,
Yeah.
I mean,
that's an interesting question.
I always wondered what you thought about that, because it's massive change since I played here.
Let me just say this: you're gonna like this answer. It's changed a lot, but at the same time, it hasn't changed at all.
I understand completely.
It's still the game. I mean, football's football. You spread out a little bit more now.
Exactly.
Do you is it quite as hard nosed at times? But the game itself, it's still who can block, who can run, who can tackle, and when you get down to just that simplest pieces of it.
Yeah.
Football is football.
I know. Were there bigger kids back when you played? I think it goes to sideline. Senior, I can't even get 10 kids on the line.
Yeah, no, I honestly can't say we did have 30 kids. We're going to be about 80 up front with a couple of smatterings of 160 in there. So yeah, small compared to some of the other teams we'll face and some of the other teams around the state. But my center was Curtis Ganewan. He couldn't have been more than 155 pounds soaking wet. But we got the job done. It's in an attitude, it's in utilizing leverage, and it's in what you want to accomplish. So in terms of size of kids, athleticism, you got the ebb and flow to it, but you work with what you have, and it's about how you approach the game more than anything.
Yeah, and then, like you say, it has spread out since, and a lot since. Great, I wish you nothing but the best of luck. I think it's looking good. This is the best I've felt about this program since you came in. You've done a marvelous job.
Creeping, pinch by inch.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, great to be in Crusader land. McKenna, Lamley behind the camera, bodyguard, videographer, and producer. Tim Dvorak, Pleasure. So we'll catch you next time for the Independent.com on Endzone Online.